Okay. All right, there we go. We'll go with that one.
Why is it so small though?
It's because the mics aren't angled at it.
Oh, like they're kind of away.
Yeah, they're pointing at us.
Is that new?
What?
Like just been doing that ever since you started adjusting them, or? Because last time it used to be
actually it might have been the compression because before there was none. There's no compression. But since we started, hello everybody. You probably don't recognize this guy anymore.
I know. It's been a minute. Excited.
Yep.
I got to go into another podcast shortly.
Huh?
I got to go to another podcast shortly as a guest.
Oh,
this
really?
guy's been asking me to do it, and
what?
I've been just fucking busy.
Look at you.
Yeah. Well, so I think the best way to put his is raunchy. Like he has like a raunchy podcast. Like they kind of just no filter, which is good because like it's kind of a free speech thing. Mm-hmm. It's good. But yeah, I think that's what is controversial about their channel is that they're just so open about anything, and they'll just say something like that, like if it's a cuss word or if it's just saying something describing it. Like they covered this one person recently, and apparently they got like banned or some shit off one of the things.
It's on YouTube or what?
It's like an app that's supposed to disseminate to everyone.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
That's how Spotify works.
Yeah, okay.
It's a hosting thing.
Yeah, it's basically what it does. But I don't know the app specifically. He says it all the time. I just, it never stuck.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it'll be something interesting to see what he's doing and pull to this podcast.
Is it somebody you work with, or who is it?
Oh, he's like a childhood friend. Well, kind of a childhood friend. So, like, he's my brother's old best friend, like his, like, OG friend. But, like, I guess through association, he's a good friend of mine, too, It's just kind of one of those things. I used to know his little brother. He's the oldest, so there's like 2 or 3 others. And I used to know like one of his younger brothers, but I don't know what happened to him. They all look the same. It's funny. Like they're all just different ages,
Mm-hmm. All right.
But yeah.
Yep. Sorry. Excuse me, folks. I'm being bad. Breaking rules. All right. So, are you going to start doing that after I get out of here? Is he like in your area or?
Oh no, it would be like a Skype thing or something.
Oh,
It'd be over the air or something. He has a system because I think he has guests on that do it that way. But so far I've seen it. I think it's through Spotify, like what I've watched it through or listened to it. So it's the audio. It's not even a video. So I don't know if he does video. Honestly, I think he just pulls the audio alone because he says he can have it up within maybe a couple minutes, I think, after.
So the way it was described to me recently, how Spotify and all that works, is you put it on, like Spotify it's not like YouTube. You just send it straight to Spotify. Like you upload it, just like how I do it here. You upload it straight to YouTube. Mm-hmm. Spotify pulls from hosting sites. That's the term, hosting sites.
Yeah.
And you usually got to pay a subscription to host your stuff on there. And then iTunes and Spotify is, just 2 biggest ones. They pull from those hosting sites.
I've been paying attention to like the Meat Eater guy. I was with some dude and he was telling me about that podcast.
The what?
Meat Eater?
Oh, yeah, I've heard about that. Yeah, but Joe Rogan is the only guy on YouTube or guy on Spotify with video capability that I know of.
Really?
Yeah, I think they updated the Spotify app just for him.
Oh, wow.
Just because of his content. It makes sense.
Yeah.
It's big enough of a deal to...
Well, they're still working out a lot of the kinks. I think you were telling me they don't even have a comment section.
Yeah.
Or I don't think.
They're, according to him, but he keeps saying this. He said this like months ago, and then he
probably has to,
Yeah, and he said it when he first came on. It was like, yeah, they're developing a comment section. It's like, dude, come on, develop the comment section. I'm no smart person, but if I was a smart person at Spotify, I don't think it'd be too difficult.
Well, they threw so much money at him. I feel like they need it.
Yeah, they honestly could have had their platform, not updated already, but had the infrastructure in place where all they had to do was hit like upload as soon as he came over.
Yeah.
And like send the update out to all the users.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they brought him over. Then it's like you tell someone to come over to like decorate your house, and then you don't have shit set up for them. It's like, okay, I guess I'll just go like update as I go or whatever.
Yeah.
So, it was the comments section and being able to watch it on smart TVs was like the 2 biggest complaints from what I've read on the YouTube comment section, and then from a guy that went on there. Actually, he like brought this up to me. He was like, "Yeah, I love watching your show on my smart TV. I can't do that anymore." And he, I think, actually, Joe Rogan recently posted on his Instagram something about. I think he had like a date that it was gonna be effective, but it's like certain TVs. I'd have to pull it up, but it was basically him saying that you'll be able to watch it on your TV.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like probably just certain smart TVs, or maybe it has to be a type of smart TV. I don't know.
Yeah, I think the Chromecast was in there too.
Oh, Google, yeah.
Yeah,
I see that.
a Roku type thing.
Yeah. Roku, I think, is winning at that stuff because I see them in every TV now.
Yeah.
It's like a bundle. It's like
It doesn't even
common.
it doesn't even seem like that's because the Roku is a thing that pulls from databases of like free movies, right? Is that
Roku is more like a weird OS / free service because like they have their own free TV show, combo, like their own Netflix, but it's like the way the thing operates too. So like, it's like having Windows versus OS or Mac OS kind of thing. It's just a preference, I guess, but it's also the remote. So like instead of a separate TV remote, it's just a Roku. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like this little USB stick you plug into your computer or TV, right?
Yeah, so the older ones I think are powered, or like I don't think really older. I think it's kind of the TV too. So ours, you plug it into one of the HDMI things, and then you plug it into another side port, and it gives itself power to that.
Like Inception.
Kind of, yeah. And then there's no plug into the wall. It's just power coming to the TV already. But the old ones, you would have to plug into the wall and then straight into the HDMI.
And needed a power source.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So mine, the one I bought this year, actually, it gives you like an extension. So like you can plug it either straight into the TV how you have it, or you can do the old school way and plug it into a wall, which I don't know why you would, but yeah.
Did you see the new iMacs that were coming out?
No. I haven't watched too much with movie theaters because, in my opinion, I think they're going to be obsolete in the
What's that?
The movie theaters.
No, the iMac.
Mac. I think you said iMacs.
Oh, no. I was like, all right.
I'll finish
Since
that
when
real
did
quick.
Apple start making movie theaters?
Yeah, no.
No, the new. Well, we'll have to go into it too much. I don't want to repeat topics, but because we already talked about it. Maybe if you tuned in, you would already know.
I do. I try to, at least.
Yeah, it's just.
I've been busy this last 2 weeks.
I guess it's more relevant now because Mark Ass Brownie on YouTube.
Yeah.
The way Will Smith said it. He got. I guess he gets everything early. It makes sense. He's too big.
Probably like they get their money's worth because people know about it.
Yeah,
so they're talking about it.
There's a lot of incentive to send their products to him. Yeah, he was showing it off, and it's a. I want to get it. Like I would.
It's like this Mac right here, right?
Well, no, it's way more superior than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they completely redid the look of them.
Wow.
For the most part, no, they're way thinner. Like they're insanely thin. They're thinner than an Apple Watch.
Jeez.
Like how thick that is? It's thinner than that. And super fast and pretty clean too. So something cool they did is there's no more Ethernet cord going into it. It goes into the power brick on the floor, and that one cord has the power supply and internet running into the back.
So if you have like a short, you have to get like a whole new cable brick, basically. I'm just thinking long term,
Yeah, should be okay.
Because I know they're trying. I don't know if it's just tech companies, but I feel like technology in general, they're trying to make it to where you have to send it in. You can't do a self repair. I don't know if you heard that debate lately. Yeah, right to repair. He actually did a video on that. I need to watch it. He did a video recently of that. That was the title. I didn't watch it, but I'm guessing he was talking about that the whole time. The right to repair. Yeah, it's good that someone like him is making it known.
Yeah,
not kind of just going with it,
because like this Apple Watch. How are you gonna repair this? How are you gonna work on this on your own? It's all sealed up, and this.
Well, it's fine that it's sealed up, but like if I work on it, it shouldn't void my warranty. I mean, unless I completely damage it. Like if I break something small, like you should also not make it to where like it's that fragile either.
I get the void your warranty thing, but they're making it hard for you. I think if you want to avoid your warranty, you should be allowed to do that.
Yeah.
But what you should also be allowed to do is work on your phone and fix it. So
Once that warranty's voided.
Yeah, yeah. So like on the iPhones now, you can't buy I guess you can't really say it's not letting you work on your phone, but for instance, if you buy like third-party stuff for it, like screens and stuff,
yeah,
they have memory stored in them now, and the actual digitizer is what's called, and you can't. Some of them you can't install it on there because the phone recognizes it and it won't run correctly.
That's dumb.
Yeah.
So it's like lights itself on fire kind of thing.
Yes, kind of like
self-destructive.
That. Yeah. Something else in the phones too. It was way more difficult to work on now, too, because I know when before the 8 down, the iPhone 8s and down.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was a matter of taking out the 2 screws on the bottom, and the glass came out.
Yeah, I mean, I broke my iPhone 4, I think it was.
Yeah, those were super easy.
Yeah, and literally, it was like it might have been 4 screws, I think. But when I broke it, you could see all the components. I don't remember the battery. I don't remember seeing the battery. It might have been in the middle, like wedged. But now you can't even, like an Android, you could clearly take it off, put a new battery in, kind of thing. But Apple, you can't. I don't know where you would start. You'd literally have to break the phone to get into it.
Yeah. The 4s, if you want to replace the front or back glass or the battery, was a matter if you knew how to work a screwdriver or not.
Literally.
You have to get the seals and go around. Now you got to heat it up. You got to get a special little heat thing and heat up the
glue,
the resin, holding it together and waterproofing it. And then you got to get the little wedge and go around it, and then you got to get the suction cups and pull it off and separate it. But now the screen and the digitizer are all one. So like on the 4s, you take that piece of glass off, and then you have like the actual light emitting LCD under there.
Yeah.
And the glass was kind of just like a protective sheet, basically.
Yeah.
That goes over it, and you replace that, and then you put it back together. It's easy. But now, I don't know how you're gonna replace the battery in that thing.
I used to have this cool Transformers thing in the back because I broke the back out and I bought the thing and it was like see-through. You could see like one of the Decepticons or some shit. That was cool, but you can't do that today.
The glass.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember people doing that. They had all clear ones. You could see like all the insides of your phone.
It's like the intricacies of a watch. When you see those clear watches.
Yeah, I saw one of those recently. One of the self-winding watches. It's pretty impressive too, because it doesn't make sense. So with energy, if you want to get something, we'll use a car for example. You want to get a few £1,000 car moving, then the amount of energy the engine has to produce is pretty proportionate to what the action is. You want to go 100 miles per hour in 5 seconds. Well, then that requires a lot of energy. A lot of fuel being burned, and getting the engine in motion to propel it going that fast. So it's like a proportionate amount of energy applied to what the outcome is. With those self-winding watches, that little thing in there could go around one time, but that makes it good for a long time. It'll just tick and tick, and you're looking at it in there, and it's a lot of moving stuff.
Yeah.
And especially if it's there's a certain word for it. Rogan had a watch guy on. That's how I learned about it. But really premium watches have I wish I could remember the terminology for it, but they don't have very distinct ticks. It's if you can get a watch that's super smooth, the second hand. If you get it super smooth and it's just going around very smoothly, that's like a very high quality watch.
Okay.
So that little winding mechanism, it could go around a few times, and it would be good for a long time. It'll just sit there and keep ticking.
Yeah.
It's where'd all that energy input come from? It's like if you went up to a car in neutral and you went and just tapped it, and it goes 50 miles per hour for 3 miles. It's I didn't even put any energy into that. So I don't know I understand watches now. Like it's not. I don't understand watches. That was a stupid. Don't get that confused. I do not understand watches. I don't know how that shit works. But I understand the like appreciation in a watch.
Yeah.
And like a watchmaker. Yeah, right. You're making all that stuff by hand. You know how like that would be a job right there. It's just putting a watch together. And
well, they also do the aesthetic look of the function. You know, so like not only is it functioning this intricate way, but it's also aesthetically pleasing and like something you want to show off. So like I've seen some watches where they just look so like a cog, you know, like very coggy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that just doesn't look appealing. But then like it's the same thing, but like the way it looks is altered, and you're like, oh man, this is like 20 times better, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, I like that about watches, but I've always run into the issue of like, I don't really know what a good quality watch is, and it's such a common thing that they try to funk it, you know? So like, you could put two and two together, and how do you know which one's better?
Yeah.
It takes like an expert, basically.
Yeah, I don't like the certain like. There's some businesses where like it's just a scam waiting to happen, like rings, for example.
Yeah.
When if you're going to get a ring, and you're like you don't know anything. I don't know shit about rings. If I went to a jewelry store and was like, "Hi, I would like one engagement ring," they'd be like, "Ha, this guy doesn't know shit. Let's get him this $10,000 ring," and then they're gonna sell it off to you as it's X, Y, and Z. It's rare.
It's the best in the world.
All this bullshit.
Yeah.
Same with watches. You know what I mean? I would have to have like a watch friend, like a guy who was into watches, and he would educate me, and then I would go online and get one. I don't need the element of, I'm all about like efficient buying. I get the thing from the retailer or the seller.
Yeah.
There's nobody in between. I don't need you to come along and be like, no, you don't want this one. You want this one because of this, that, and the other. And by the way, I get a cut of this, so that's why I'm trying to sell this to you. I don't need that shit. It's just like, I wish I could get a car like that.
Yeah, recently that's kind of how I feel with dealerships. It's because they kind of audit a middleman. You know, they just have like a bottom line that they got to meet.
The middleman peasant. That probably offended a lot of people that are car salesmen, but hey, they want a cut of your thing, just like buying a land or buying a house.
Did I ever tell you
realtor.
On our wedding day when we went to Jared's? Did I ever tell you that?
Oh, yeah, you did. Yeah, you never went back.
Yeah,
like
we said we were at lunch.
Yeah.
We're still at lunch.
Yeah. This is the lot. You go back and you're like 500 pounds. Yeah, I've been eating this whole time.
Yeah, I just one of those things that like they pretty much prey on the fact that you don't know anything.
Yeah, they prey on
ignorance. And it helps
ignorance.
in their advantage in every way.
Yeah. Yeah, they want you to be ignorant so you can buy this stupid rock that's allegedly rare. I don't think. I think we talked about that one time on the last show. Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
The created value in diamonds. And how like
I have a buddy that hates diamond. He'll never buy a diamond because like the whole blood diamond thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of agree with it. I mean, it's just like it's a rock, and then it's just like
shiny rock.
Yeah.
That humans put a huge value on
for no reason.
Yeah. No, you could give me a piece of glass that's cut the same way, and I'll take it.
I like a ruby. I do like the lighter gems, but it kind of sucks because they are a little bit more feminine. So like I would never really wear one, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like I like the I think it's topaz. It's like my birthstone.
Yeah.
It's like that yellow amber look. But it just doesn't look good on a man. At least for me, it just wouldn't look good. But it's something better than a diamond, you know. Like we're doing this with kitchen countertops. Like we don't want marble. Marble, there's so much maintenance you have to do to it. It's more expensive. Why can't I just get quartz, get a better look that we like, and you have to do almost no maintenance to it?
But there's what do you mean?
Like
by
you have to put like a sealer on it every couple of years or every so often, and like it's more prone to being like dented and stuff. Like it looks beautiful.
Dented?
Yeah, you can like chip it kind of thing.
Oh.
Like long term, like it can take less of a beating than like quartz.
Yeah.
But like you kind of run into that problem of like you can get laminate that has like that fake finish, so like you would never be able to tell by looking at it.
Yeah.
But like if you were to rip it up, it would be like that
particle wood.
Yeah.
That's what we had, or we have.
Yeah.
It's fine. Yeah. Kids having defects with the mask.
Yeah, we can talk about that one.
Want to go?
I'm interested because I don't know anything about. I haven't watched too much of COVID lately because I'm so over. I'm ready to. As a nation, it's almost like marijuana to me. Like they just need to fucking.
Yeah.
It's free. Go fucking fly away, birdie. I don't know.
Well,
but anyways,
this doesn't have any backing to it. This is literally me walking down the beach and seeing and then thinking this.
Yeah.
It's not really. It doesn't have anything to do with COVID. It has more to do with a physiological effect from a long-term thing being applied. So a lot of kids around here, because of their parents, at the nice windy beach in the broad daylight, want to put masks on their, If
you're outside and you put a mask on, you should go fucking die. You deserve COVID.
Oh, you think the kids should go die then? Huh?
Yeah, just the kids, not the parents.
So the little 4 or 5-year-olds have their little baby mask on and all this. Yeah. So this has been going on for how long have the kids been wearing masks? Over a year now.
Yeah.
So
well, I don't know. That one's tough because the kids didn't even go to school for a while.
Yeah.
And then they started coming back. So I don't know how long they've actually been wearing, because they have the thing now, at least where I'm from, where they track it by age. So they know, like, statistically, hey, no one under this age or at this age has gotten the vaccine. So, like, they have, like, the people that, like, I think it's, like, high schoolers only or something. And even then, it's only some high schoolers.
Yeah.
So they're like, of these people that are kids that have gotten it, only these guys are allowed to do this, and that. But as a parent, I would never make my kid wear a mask because, like, the kid, it's way less for a kid than it is even an adult.
Mm-hmm. So we're talking close around a year, several months. That kids have been wearing masks when they're like growing and stuff. And I was wondering, I was like, I wonder if that mask on them hooked to like around their ears and pulling their ears forward and then pushing on their nose. I mean, you don't know how tight it is on their face. I wonder if that is doing a slight but still measurable growth defect on their face.
Yeah.
It might be something, it's probably very small, but if you, so for example, the Native Americans used to like tie kids to like boards, right? And their head would get flat on the back. You ever heard of that?
No, I heard of that. I think it was the Mayans. They would, Indiana Jones, they would like make their head like a dome, like a cone.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So it might not be, it's probably not a good comparison, but it captures if you apply like pressure or force on a growing little kid. Yeah. They probably did it way longer, probably several years and years.
I think it's African tribes. They put rings around their neck and their necks get stretched.
Yeah.
So that's a good example right there.
Yeah. So I wonder if this is having in 10 years, if you pulled, we'll say even further. In 20 years, if you pulled a pool of kids that grew up during this era, and like a large pool, and then compared them to another group of kids that
didn't have to wear masks,
maybe even like kids now, or maybe in 2 years, we'll just say because in 2 years we shouldn't be wearing masks at all. Hopefully,
today.
So if you pulled kids from that pool of kids and then the other pool that did wear masks, would you be able to from a large scale see any kind of like their ears are like more flared out, they're more shifted forward, kind of, they have a more like downward pointing nose, or like, well, maybe even like that might be stretching. I was gonna say like something to do with their skin, maybe that's probably stretching it, but I really think the ears, man. I think
I saw some girl at work.
It's very small, but
her ears were like, so it's like almost like you could fold your ears over. Mm-hmm. It was like that bad. Like her ears were like just like folded.
From the mask?
Yeah, with her mask on. And I wanted to say something, but I was like, maybe she's comfortable. I just didn't give a fuck kind of thing. But yeah, they were pulling so hard forward that they were basically like folding in half, and I was like, man, that looks so uncomfortable. But I think what would probably cause part of it too is depending on how long you take it or you wear it. So like, as a kid in school for half a day, because I think that was part of the entry into kids back into schools was half a day or something, or certain times like a week, like 2 or 3 times a week. So like if you're wearing it like, let's say even 3 times a week for like 6 hours, I mean, that's probably not too bad. But if you're wearing it every day, 5 days a week for 6 to 8 even hours, you're probably going to easily notice that growth difference, especially more in the younger than the older. But ears, I don't know if it's ears in your nose that keep growing. It might just be your nose. But, I mean...
Your ears keep growing, yeah.
Oh, yours
Yeah.
do? Okay. So that's a good question then. I mean, at least, it might even 20 years might not be enough, but maybe like 40. Like when this older generation, how do their ears look?
Yeah.
Are they more forward? Are they back? Or like, what's the shape, I guess?
So you think it could be possible? Because I brought this up with
Yeah,
other
it
people.
could be,
and they,
but it also, you're saying you need a large pool, and I feel like I don't know. How do you even determine what a large pool is? Like, off the ratio of people that went to school, because some kids might have even stayed home. Because like I know a lot of people at work, like, I don't think they ever went to school. I don't know. I could be wrong.
But you could just see
Not
like
everyone, but
just grab a pool of people that wore masks during COVID at between the ages of 3 and 4.
any
3 and
day of the
5.
week kind of thing. There wouldn't have
Yeah,
to be a
if they
specific.
frequently, particularly, you're gonna have to go to kids that were in the year 2020 to 2021 between the age of like 4 and 5, 3 to 5.
Yeah. I
Does
know. I
it-
saw some kid at the store that he had to have been maybe like a kindergartner, maybe if that, maybe even preschool or first grade at the latest, honestly. And his parent was making him wear a mask, and I was just like, man, like, why are you doing this?
Yeah. Something else too. So I was thinking this. So some of these kids, their first memories, like, because you start having your first memories around 3 or 4, at least for me. Their first memories are of a motionless kind of looking world, because you can't tell people's emotions.
Yeah, I think we talked about that.
Yeah.
One of the last times I was on, because like we were
Oh,
talking
yeah.
about how you can't see
Yeah.
their smile.
We did talk about that. Yeah,
Yeah.
so their first memories are being formed around like this society where it's not too much emotion. People are supposed to be spread apart. Hey, get away from me. It's a very like dehumanized, no like emotional connection to your neighbor and all that.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's gonna have like some kind of turn them into like sociopaths or something. That's probably that's extreme, but
Yeah. I mean, where I'm from, the dude literally said that a mask is a poor man's solution or some shit like that.
a mask is a poor man's solution.
Like literally poor man. Like that's what he said, poor man's, because it's only like 50%, right? I'll just quote it. That's what he said. It's 50% effective versus like the vaccine, which I guess depending on which one, I don't think they're all the same, but I would say they're at least in the 90,
Yeah,
95
they're pretty good actually.
and above percentile. So he was like saying like go get your vaccine and all this stuff. But I mean, if you're saying like you need to have people wear these masks, like yeah, it's better than nothing. You could say that, but at the same time, like if I'm just walking around, I have a 50% chance. I'm either gonna get it or I'm not. Like that's 50% right there. Like what are you saying? 50% more? I don't know. I'm not a math freaking dude, so I don't know. But the 50% didn't seem very appealing to me. Of like, oh man, that's gonna help me 50% more than my already 50%.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I can tell you something to get off the topic of
Yeah, COVID.
Yeah, I'll tell you about this. So at work 2 days ago, yeah, on Thursday, a few weeks ago, we got talked to by some people. They wanted to like test out something, and so Thursday comes around and we're doing it. So it was a test to test out a new AI software that's going to be used over like telephonically be used to detect deceit in people. And it was, I won't get into too many details, but it was you had to like do a little task, and then afterwards you were told to either tell the truth or told to lie, and like you would stick with that, and then you would be given a telephone, and it was an automated little system. It was kind of shitty.
Yeah.
You're given a telephone, and it was an automated little questionnaire, and you got to see the questions beforehand, so you like knew what you were gonna say, and it was basically like if you did a polygraph, like, is your name John? Asking basic questions to establish the baseline. And it was 7 questions or so, and it was like the first one was like, is the year 1995, and this, that, and the other, and like, have you ever seen a car? Have you ever used a telephone? Like those things, and then it would ask you specific questions about the task, And if you were told to lie, you needed to lie to like prepare this tool that they're gonna use at some point. And yeah, I threw some curveballs in there just to really fuck with it, because they told us, they're like, you like this could be like a bigger tool in the future, so like put it through its paces. And it was like the 1995 one. I was like, yep, it's 1995. Just, you know, to add a little curveball in there. But I was thinking about it, and afterwards I asked the dude, it was one of the dudes, he was working for a college, and he was telling me that it's gonna be used for like tax fraud, and like if people are like alcoholics or something, if you're like being asked questions, I guess later on if they're gonna be working at a job that requires a more thorough background check, they're gonna use that in conjunction.
Oh wow.
And yeah, I was just thinking, I was like, I don't know how good this is gonna be, because like the idea is good. It's like we wanna tell if you're being truthful or not over the telephone. I mean, that's pretty good. It's less time for you to go out and see the person. It's more efficient. You can just call them from it. It's basically like if you want to do a job interview, I'll just do it from home on Zoom. Oh, I want to do a pre like polygraph. Oh, I'll just do it over the phone, and we'll have this thing analyze his voice. But I was like, over the phone, I don't know if that's the best like way to measure it, because then you're dealing with the okay, how good is your cellular connection? How clear is your voice over the phone?
Yeah.
How like there's a lot of different
variables.
Things. Like it's not very. Yeah, that would have to be taken. Like polygraphs are like with a grain of salt. They don't even use them in courts, right? Like as a like
no,
a
you're supposed to swear to the Bible, right? That's like the thing, you're getting sworn in.
No, I'm talking like if you're a criminal, they don't use it to prove something against you. They use it to figure out if you're lying, and then they dig after that. But they can't use the polygraph.
Oh, you're talking about in an interview.
Yeah, like if you're being interviewed.
They
for a
should
crime.
never. I mean, hell, as far as I know, they should never hook you up to a poly. I could be wrong, and maybe they do in some places.
Well, they ask you if you want to do one. They get your consent. Yeah.
Okay. I've never.
But they can't use it. They can't be like, he's guilty because the polygraph says so. They can't do that. That's
okay.
So.
Well, why would you like? I guess from their perspective, why would you even think of using that? I guess other than prying, maybe you can get it like.
Well,
this.
For example, Chris Watts, Colorado, they do that through his fucking family.
Oh, he was on a poly, yeah.
Yeah, but the investigator asked him if he wanted to do a poly, because she was like, "All right, you're telling the truth." And he was like, "Yep." She's like, "Okay, would you want to do a poly?" He was like, "Yeah, sure." Like a dumbass.
Yeah.
And then he failed the shit out of it, and then they just they basically tortured. They didn't torture him. They just left him in there and just made him think. And then she came back and was like, "All right, so do you want to tell me anything?" And then he fessed up. So
they had the dad come in too, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they use it as a way to see like how they should spend their time, basically. Because like if you say I didn't do it, and then you take a poly, and then it says he didn't do it, then they're probably gonna be like, all right, well, he's probably telling the truth. We need to maybe somebody else do it. Let's go look for somebody else. But if he's saying I didn't do it, and then the polygraph clearly shows he's lying, then they're gonna just keep digging. They're just gonna keep you in the room until you fess up.
There's like two things. There's like a criminal justice side, and there's a video that I'll talk about with the AI stuff. But criminal justice side, at least from what I've like learned so far, is like it's really hard to strike that balance between safety of the public and like getting justice. Kind of, like this. It's always a toss up. So like, I guess in this instance, like, is it constitutionally something that we would want as America? Because the solution is good, but it's like Facebook, right? It wanted to solve a connection issue with your friends. Now we want to solve a truthfulness issue, right? But like down the road, there's going to be issues that are unforeseen because we haven't ran into them yet, right? They're just new issues, new paths. So with the like thing of truthfulness, like, are you kind of like infringing on their thing of not telling the truth on their own choice? Like the right to remain silent kind of thing.
Yeah.
So like, are you kind of infringing on that? And if you are, to what degree, how much, what issues are you with that? So like, it's a good idea to kind of see where we should, if you're talking about resources, where you should spend time talking to this person. Because why would I spend, an extra 5 hours on this guy if he's most likely, we can see through at least a poly or even the way he's talking in this AI thing that he's probably telling the truth. Like he probably didn't do anything. So why are we going to waste 4 hours? We can go out hunting and redirecting our efforts. So in a sense, yeah, that makes good. But you kind of think about like his rights or her rights, the person, I should say. So there was this thing. I swear it's old. It's got to be at least 2016 old. But my buddy showed me it the other day, and it's Google's like new assistant, and it basically like it's a dude, right, and it ends up being a girl, the AI. So the dude says, book me appointment for a haircut between like 10 and 12. And no shit, it's an AI. It sounds like a girl, like normal secretary, you could say. It dials the nearest like barbershop or whatever, maybe predetermined, I'm sure. And it says, hey, I need to schedule an appointment. Like you couldn't even tell. And like they were like the nuances of conversation, which I don't really think is a nuance. I think it's just conversation. But anyways, she was like, mm-hmm. And it sounded a little robotic, but like to the person on the other side, it sounded just like a normal person going, mm-hmm. Because she was like, I got to wait and look. But like, I think of this, like, if they're trying to develop this for whatever reason, they're already behind the game because Google already has it.
Yeah.
You're wasting the money and the resources. Just figure out what Google's doing and contract it, license it out, whatever you need to do, but don't spend your own money and time because I was thinking about this when you showed me it. I mean, our first face unlock or even first unlock in general was like, 2004 maybe when the new iPhone came out, whatever. But I'm just saying, like, even Google, when they had all the Google Assistant. So, like, you have at least over a decade, if not more than a decade, of all this, human input times however many users there are. So you have, like, we're talking, like, in the beyond trillions of data at your hands. It's already well perfected. Obviously, it can get better, but, like, it's perfected enough that you can put it to the market today and it'll survive. It'll start to get ultimately better, like a utopia. But you're starting something that's a decade and a half more behind the curve. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's like saying you want to build the world's first car. You're a whole century behind.
And another thing about this company is they are doing their AI, the AI like analysis tool in house. Like that.
Oh wow.
They're not getting some other like created AI to do this. And I was thinking, good luck. Like the test just wasn't. I think what it was, they were short on time with all of us, and it was very trivial. It was like the little. I'll tell you more, but the little task you did was pretty trivial, and then it was like 7 questions, and then it asked you the first go round, and then it asked you again.
Yeah.
And that was it. And I was thinking this is what you're using to train this. It must be like really early on, but I was like, I'm pretty sure a lot of people have already. I'm sure, I bet China is like on this. Russia.
Yeah, they do the information stealing. It's easy. Why spend money on I mean, I think Russia did it too with our space stuff, but like, why spend the money on research and development when another person's done it? Just steal that information.
I'm talking more about like they have this technology already. Like,
for
be
sure.
Able to analyze.
Japan has it. They're like the pioneers, and they're like maybe miles away, kind of thing.
Yeah. So I was really wondering. I was like, is this gonna realistically work? Like it'd work fine with like this kind of audio.
Yeah.
Like very clear,
crisp.
Yeah, but like, what's your like baseline of your conversation tone? Yeah. Like it would have to be like super big. Like even with a polygraph, I don't know how long they sit there and they establish your like baseline. Yeah. If you go in to do a polygraph, you're not at a baseline. You're gonna be nervous. Me? Yeah. Are you kidding me? I'd be fucking nervous because it's a polygraph. I don't like the idea of my brain being read.
Well, I think we also think like it knows. Yeah. But it doesn't know. It just goes off of what you're telling it. So like, are you sweating? Are you moving? Are you like muscles doing different things? Because that's kind of what it accounts for.
Yes. So it's a baseline built off of a already like shaky foundation.
Yeah.
So if you're doing this with the telephone thing, like how long are you have to like talk on the phone for like an hour or something. And then it'd be like, all right, I think we know how he sounds when he's like calm and when he's being honest and this, that, and the other. Oh no, now he's lying when he said no to that answer. Now, but it's actually, and especially off of like, that's the other thing it was the answers were one word. It was yes or no, and I was listening to myself say yes, no over and over again, and then I started trying to gauge it or game it. I was like, I didn't. It came off wrong. That no I said, it didn't sound good. So then my next no, I would like breathe in more and then say it more powerfully. So I was literally changing my no's and yeses throughout the questions. And I was like, this thing isn't going to be able to fucking tell.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? It's going to have all kinds of data and be like, oh yeah, he was lying. No. It's because I didn't like how my last no sounded, so I wanted to change it up. It's like, ooh, I sounded nervous on that one. Let me try it again. No.
Yeah.
And then no. I mean, I can say no and yes a million different ways. It doesn't necessarily mean I'm lying. Like, just off your voice, it's not even in your voice. If you had a video version of this where it can like read your body language, oh, then you could probably catch a liar.
Yeah.
But just your voice alone with one-worded responses, I don't have too much faith
too, because like that's the big thing. I think that our generation is kind of dealing with is the whole like you waive your rights almost just to even have access. So like, do you want to provide for your family and do you want a job? If you do, if you say yes, then all right, now we'll do this polygraph. But like when you accept to that, you can't hold us against anything. We can use your data, your voice, however we want to make our thing better, to sell it off. I think that's the issue that we run into today is like when you say yes to like, let's say this gets implemented one day and you're getting hired and they're like, okay, you're going to be on a polygraph. Do you accept? And then like if you say no, then you're not even going to get the interview and you're not going to get the job. So like you just waived the whole thing of rights and then they're going to use what you tell them regardless for their own gain,
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a really shit sandwich. Like it sucks. Like how do we overcome? That's like right there. That's a unforeseen thing by some people, How do you overcome that? Like if you say you don't want to do the polygraph, you just come in person. Like are you still offered a job? Because like if you think about it, like how do you solve like a problem with jobs as like a nation? Like let's say it's 20% and it's all because of this stupid polygraph thing. Everyone just keeps saying no. Okay, well then if they say no, then just come inside and then the job's to like 10%. That's obviously really good. That's still a fucking ton of people, but it's just something I think about. Like going back to this thing, like right to work on whatever the hell you want is like farmers and their tractors. They're all like electric now. So like when they go to work on them, they can't because they just can't work on them. They have to go send them into the dealership. Yeah. And it's a time thing. It's a cost thing. For a farmer, it's a huge thing because they're usually remote anyways.
Yeah, it's like cars too. They have I think some of them have like special like fuel filters on them. You gotta have a special kind of tool to take them off. Along with like reading codes in the engine.
Oh yeah.
You have your special little reader.
Yeah.
And it's like you can still work on your car, but you might fuck it up because you don't have the right tools. But we have the right tools. We can sell them to you.
Yeah.
In a repair. So yeah, they're I don't think they're doing anything wrong. They're just being kind of greedy.
Yeah.
They want to make money off. They want to continue making. They sell the car. They make money off you. They want to keep you coming back every year, however many times a year, to get service done and worked on and all that. They don't want you working on it and just basically taking money from them.
Yeah, I think about that too. Like, I guess the ethics of jobs, is that something that we want to kind of live up to as like a nation long term, Like just we want to be greedy, hungry business owners, or do we want to care about our people? That's kind of I say like a commie kind of thing, Like I'm going to control everything and you're going to get what I tell you. Like, I should be able to do what I want. It's a free country. How free is it if you waive your freedom, you know? Like, the thing about guns is, like, people would rather feel safe than have their freedom. It's a good kind of correlation there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they'll well, it's because it's sold in a skewed, not truthful way.
Well, how do we, like, prevent that, though? That's a good question. That's a hard question, too.
Well, when it comes to, like, your civil liberties being given up in the effort to have more safety from the government, which is, like, hilarious. But they don't, a lot of people, they don't, like, know. I don't know if they necessarily know what they're agreeing to.
I don't think they do at all. They just, because, like, we're so accustomed to it now. Like, there's, like, let's say 150-page user agreement. Are you going to read 150 pages before you want to use this dumb app that you might use once? Fuck no. That'll take, like, for a slow reader, maybe a week. A quick reader, maybe a day, we'll say. Maybe 150 pages is not much. Like, you think I'm going to read that for something that I may never ever use? Mm-hmm. I'm just like, you never know if you're going to use it anyways. You know, like, let's say the first time Facebook was an app. Did you think you were going to use it as often as you do now? And then every time they update it, there's a new user agreement. Are you going to keep reading it every week, every 2 weeks, every month? Like, fuck no, I'm not going to do that. I don't have the capacity to.
Yeah, and with, like, the recent, in any kind of, like, worldwide giant tragedy or pandemic like we had, it doesn't just temporarily happen. Like, as far as, like, we'll say the lockdown and all the stuff you're giving up then, and, like, and the interest of your safety, which is how it's sold.
Yeah.
It's like, no, you do this and you'll be more safer.
Yeah.
It doesn't go away like that. I would love to see someone needs to do, like, this research in, like, 2023. What is still in effect from 2020?
Like, what do you mean, though?
Law-wise. Oh. Like, the amount of you could probably find a lot of stuff in, like, the health sector, like, as far as your health and, like, the privacy of your health and data. So
you would see, like, what has changed, like, positive?
I guess there's positive things that came out of this.
Well, I'm just saying, like, what would you, like, when you see that answer, what would you gain from it? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you would be gaining the basically knowledge of, like, holy shit, these, good example, like 9/11.
Yeah.
What is still in effect after 9/11? I mean, TSA was made. I'm pretty sure that wasn't around.
Yeah, it has, like, 3 names now, but basically the Patriot Act. It's something else now.
Yeah.
But that's still in effect in some sense.
Yeah. So, like, that's the thing I'm scared about. This whole COVID thing shit. Yeah, the masks are going away and things are opening back up, but it's how many laws were passed? Oh my God! You know how many laws were passed? I mean, the passport thing. I don't think that shouldn't happen.
The vaccine?
Yeah,
that's bullshit. I don't agree with that at all.
But yeah, just like I can't think of a huge list right now, but in we'll say 2025, if you could magically look at all the laws. Actually, I guess it wouldn't be too hard. Just look at laws passed in 2020 and see if they're still around. And if they are around, what do they do? And, like, why? Like, why do we have a law still around that enables the police, if they see the need to show up to your house and see how many people you have inside your home?
Yeah.
Like, why do we have that?
Well, that's the thing that, like, I don't want to say it's a Karen thing, but, like, there's like a line in the sand. Where that line is at is hard to determine because of certain people, not a specific group. I'm just saying certain people, because, like, you know, at one point it got to the point where I would even say you get pushed to that point of where you kind of stop requiring, like, people to put on their masks, for instance. Like, that's like the line in the sand. So, like, how far does it go? Like, the whole funeral thing, like, you can only have 2 people at a funeral. Like, why? Like, I'm never going to see this dead person again. Why can't I send my condolences? You know, whether it's 150 people or if it's 10 people. Every family is different, kind of thing. So, like, you have people call the cops and say, hey, there's too many people standing around. Or, for this instance, it's like, hey, there's 20 people in this one room. I know because I've been standing outside of it, and there's only one way in and one way out kind of thing. So like, I think it's up to us as a society to kind of catch that instead of letting it go. Like the same thing with this mask thing. Like that's why I was asking about what you'd gain from knowing what laws are in place. Because Florida and Texas that I know of, there might be a couple other states, but they have like 100% gone back to like pre-COVID restrictions, and there's nothing negatively really affecting them like at all. Their economy is booming more than the other states. I think the infection rate went down. It's not increasing; it's actually going down. So like, I don't know if that's probably. I mean, there's a multitude of factors. It's not just the fact that they went back, but like, if these states stay in effect, are they damaging their economy themselves? Because like the big thing is like a state can fail, but then like for instance, I don't know how bad it is with California. I need to probably do more research on this, but like federally we have this protection, which I see it now and it really pisses me off. But like they're saying you can get like free internet, and there was some school thing in there too. But like there's like 2 or 3 things for sure that the government, Big Brother, is going to try and cover for you because of the pandemic. And I'm like, no, you shouldn't, as a federal government, do any of that. I didn't vote for that. I don't know who the fuck did. Like, I voted for you, but I didn't say, like, this, you shouldn't be doing that with, like, my taxpayer money. Like, it should have went through the House, and maybe it did. Maybe, maybe I missed something. But you shouldn't rely on the big federal government for you. That's kind of like an issue I've been seeing a lot lately with the, the food stamps and all that stuff. It's because, like, negatively over time, like, yes, it helps people, but over time it just kind of de-incentivizes working. Just like you see now with like the stimulus checks, there's a huge gap in workforce because people find it easier to stay at home, get paid, than they do going to work for 40 hours a week when they make less. You know? I don't want the government's help. I want my fucking help for myself, and if I can't do it, I want to work with my state. What can my state do for me, not the federal government,
Yeah, like all the welfare and not welfare, the unemployment, the stimulus checks, it gave a lot of people more incentive to not be like a contributor to society.
Yeah, well then that's how inflation happens, and it's like you don't want things to inflate. You don't want, like, I hate to say it, but you don't want to get paid $15 an hour. Yes, things like life might be bad because you can't survive off of that, but like that's why you move up in life. These low income jobs are not meant for you to make it a career.
It's a minimum skill job.
Yeah. And even then they fuck it up.
Yeah.
I mean, I fuck up my job sometimes. I'm not saying every day like they do.
Yeah, I mean, you get your cheese off your Whopper in the box.
Well, lately they've been fucking forgetting like sauce.
Oh, yeah.
Or just, I think the biggest thing is sauce, or they just fuck up the order in general. Like they'll leave out like not half, but it's been.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't get straws earlier.
Yeah,
I want my goddamn straw that's gonna go in the ocean later.
Well, there was the Bank of America that was like, we're gonna give by the year 2025, so in 4 years, the minimum wage for them is gonna be $25.
Wow.
And I'm like, you are so fucking dumb to do
25.
that.
25. Wow. Impressive.
Yeah. Okay. I'll say if you do 25, they better be the fucking best employees ever.
Yeah, they better be going to like some long training.
Yeah.
To make sure they're good to go.
But if it's some dude off the street, you're paying $25. Like
they do like the most.
They're so fucked.
They're a secretary.
Yeah.
Please hold.
Because it's like you're saying, it's an entry level job, and there's not much thought to it. You kind of just you read the instructions, or you get taught like what to do, and then you just repeat that consistently. Versus like, let's say a tradescraft like woodworking, you're not going to build the same thing necessarily. You can, but in some instances, like let's say a weld, you're not going to weld the same things all the time. You might weld the same metals, for instance, but no joint is going to be the same. Because, like, let's say you're usually building those things for, like, construction jobs or anything. So, like, why am I going to build the same complex throughout all of America? Like, maybe for 2 years I'll build the same thing, but then I'll move on to something else, maybe more complex or easier or bigger or less workload kind of thing. A lot of play in that. But I don't know. I think people are getting caught in the idea of more money is better, and that's not. I don't know shit about economics, but I know that is not a good thing.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of like fast food joints around here. Like most of them, they'll have their hiring sign out, and like Subway is like starting at 11 to 15 an hour. Chick-fil-A was saying up to 15 an hour starting.
Yeah.
All Mickey D's down here, it was upwards of 15.
Jeez.
So, yeah, when you have, like, all that, It's like, all right, so in 2 years, how much is your Whopper going to cost? Is it going to be more?
Well, we had
paying more.
The other day we had this 5 for $5. It didn't really feed me, or it didn't fill me up. It was just like a kid's menu, for $5 basically. But I just think about like, it says a lot about our society in America, not anywhere else. Maybe other places experience similar because a lot of people copy us, But I think we've become very materialistic in that sense. That, like, especially when you talk about money and stuff, is like, if we want more money, that means we want more material, right? More things in our life, or at least the idea of that. Instead of like what I think, like talking about what we did earlier with like taking care of other people, is like, we're not focused on the management aspect of jobs now. These are, yes, are entry-level jobs, but we treat people like they're garbage. And like, it's like, I just think like, standing back, like seeing this pipeline through life, like if you have nothing in life and you cannot think that you can succeed, at least, in the 20s, I'm a totally different person in my early 20s than I am now in my mid 20s, even in like teenage kind of years. So like, if you're going to get this job at like 16, we'll say, or even at 21, like working fucking drive-through, you shouldn't be treated like you're fucking the worst person in the world. As a manager, you should be like, how can I make this better? Hey, I understand that you're skipping work for whatever dumb reason. Let's try and fix this. What can I do to help you? Obviously, at a certain degree, you can let them go. But like, I'm not going to yell at you. I'm not going to belittle you just because you're working the shop. I need you, to keep going. So like, I should almost be boosting them through that life experience of like, how can I get this person out of here into a better job, whether that's doing college or looking for better opportunities, because I don't want them to stay here. Like, the last thing I want them to do is stay here. But while they're here, I'm going to treat them right. I think we kind of gotten away from that. Like, you think about like the time it took, let's say, like the original, have you seen the McDonald's movie? Like, they show like the scene, like the 50s or whatever, the 60s when they made the first McDonald's.
The McDonald's movie?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's actual movie. It's like the story of the owner and stuff. But like, they put so much time into making like one hamburger back then. Like when you got a meal, it was like, holy fuck, this is good quality. Like even a car, it was like full metal, like now they're all plastic and stuff, which is whatever. But I feel like kind of today it's just like, let's get through numbers. We don't care about you. We don't care about your health. We don't care about nothing. You're a number and a body to us. And we kind of got
Excel doc column.
Yeah. Yep. It's crazy. It's just like, it shows me as a person that we've gotten away from caring about one another, and we've become materialistic, like in the easiest sense of every day, even in policy, if you could extend it to that.
Mm-hmm. Well, today it's a more fast-paced, not easygoing society, because everything is
up to
us
now,
instantaneous.
Yeah.
I just Google searched that. Why is it buffering still? Come on, I want to watch my Netflix. It's taking too long. Back then, you didn't have the because the internet is a instantaneous like knowledge gathering thing. Like, I don't even have to type anything anymore. I can just say, "Hey Siri."
Yeah.
Didn't come up that time. That was a flashback to that one episode.
101, bing.
Oh yeah. But yeah, back then it was easier going. It was slower going. You didn't like. Come on, you couldn't. If you wanted to know the answer to something. So like, what's the capital of Azerbaijan or something?
Yeah.
Is that a country?
It's in the Middle East, yeah. Azerbaijan.
Yeah, okay.
It has a weird spelling.
Yeah.
Abujan is in Cote d'Ivoire.
Yeah, okay. I thought I might mess that up.
No.
Yeah, so if you want to know the capital of that country, you're going to either find someone that knows or go to the library and search.
Yeah.
You're going to walk your ass over there and use your hands to go through a book. And, yeah. So now our attention spans have gotten a lot shorter. It translates to everything in society. Like, why isn't the red light turning green? I'm fucking tired of sitting here.
Yeah.
And then, like, at work, why is my food taking so long? And da-da-da. And then people complain more. And then their attention span and tolerance are small for people working for them. So just, I don't know, they want to get rid of them or whatever. They need, like, a quick solution.
Mm-hmm.
Get rid of them, we'll hire somebody else. Pass them through.
Yeah.
In and out. Quick.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of like that materialistic thing, because, like, I think about this all the time and I get mad. Is like, we would rather prefer money over people and over the interaction, you could say. Think about 2008. I think that's probably a good year. 2008, 2010. I think 2010 is the last good year, honestly, ever.
Which years?
2008 to 2010.
Yeah, those were good years.
But like, think of YouTube. When you're a little fat watching YouTube, there was one ad, and you could skip it after 10 seconds.
Yeah.
And
or you
now
click
there's
the
like
0.
8 to fucking 30. It feels like ads in one 5-minute video. You know, every time like one little thing happens, they're like, we need to put an ad here. But like, I think we're getting materialistic of like, how much money can I make in this 5 minutes? I need to make as much as I can, so I need to throw all this in your face, all these products that I don't really give a fuck about. I mean, I do, right? Because I have to say it in your face, and then I'm going to get money on the back end. Like, it might be like 20 cents or whatever, if that, but I'm going to get something out of it. So I think that's kind of the issue, is like when you have that throughout your day and you're just trying to see something, right? Some piece of information, you just want that information. You don't care about all the ads, all the extra bullshit. But then if you are understanding that YouTube needs to make their money, I'll take an ad or two, but an ad every fucking minute or every 2 minutes, like, fuck that, And I understand that the person wants to make money themselves, but then that means that they're greedy, kind of like as a society, like, at what point is, all this stuff in our face too much?
It seems like YouTube, like, I don't know if people just want to, like, not the YouTube ads, but like the actual. And before we get to that, let's talk about today's video sponsor, Squarespace. It makes it seem like they are now getting paid less or something, which I don't know that they are. I mean, possibly. I mean, you can't monetize videos until you have X amount of subscribers or something like that.
Yeah, which is kind of dumb.
Yeah, so I don't know if they've also like started saying, all right, we're gonna pay you a little bit less now, but to compensate, you can start doing these video sponsors and all this other bullshit.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they're still getting paid the same. They are trying to cram as many ways into one 13-minute video of how they can make some money. But I would like to know that if they're getting paid less now by YouTube, like if YouTube is paying them less. But these people with like millions and millions of subscribers, they're millionaires. They make like a ton of money every year.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely the partners that they have. I don't think they would do it alone with YouTube. I mean, I just think about it now, like a small scale channel now is like a couple 100,000 viewers, and I'm like, let's say for our channel, we're getting like maybe at most like 30 to 50.
Which is
hilarious. It's like crazy, like. Our span of influence, it's like that's what they're kind of gauging it off of, is our influence and like who we can reach. So it's like,
who can sell this the best?
Yeah. And like 1 million views, like I can't even name 1 million people. I don't know 1 million people, Yeah. So the fact that you can reach 1 million people, which is kind of crazy, because I think it was the Gangnam Style is what started all this. Even Justin Bieber, because he was like super big thing back then. But like I think they have like billions of views now.
Yeah.
Like a lot of popular things now, and I mean, they still make a lot of money. I'm not saying they aren't making money, but like, it takes a billion. Like, it takes what 1/8, 1/10 of the world for you to make barely a profit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy to think about.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how much is YouTube making on the back end that they're not saying?
Well, with those ads, they I don't even know. I guess you have to, which I don't get. So, the way I understand is YouTube makes. You make revenue off, like you get a cut and YouTube gets a cut of the click-through ads.
Yeah.
The way I understand it, you have to click on that ad to get money, right? To gain money. And I'm thinking, who clicks on these?
Yeah.
Ads it is the least effective way to advertise something. That's like all right, if you're watching a video on YouTube, and you put an ad in right before the punchline of the video, do you think I give a shit about your annoying ad that just cut off what I was watching? No, as soon as 3 seconds goes by, I can click skip ad. That's what I'm clicking. I'm not going to say, oh, wow, Crest toothpaste? Oh, fuck yeah, I'm going to click on that.
I forgot to buy some today.
Yeah. Like, I've said this before, like, I don't get the purpose of advertising. Yeah. And as to why, I don't get how much money it makes. I've never, ever bought something from an ad on the side of my YouTube video. I have ad block, so I don't really see ads anyways. Or an ad in my YouTube video or like a random advertisement email I get or something on Instagram. I've never ever bought something from that alone. So this thing that is the most like, because it's one of the biggest things on the internet today is your data and how they can advertise to you better. It's like a huge thing. It makes billions of dollars every year, I guess.
Yeah.
So I don't get why it's so like lucrative when I don't know how many. I guess people do because they make a lot of money. But me, I've never bought anything. I'm way less likely to click on something like an ad.
So am I.
Than like I think of it on my own and then I go buy it.
I think that's part of what they're trying to do is implant the idea more than make you buy then and there.
Yeah.
'Cause like, let's say you go to a store, you saw it earlier and it went away, and you were like mad that you saw it, and then you're walking down and then you're like, man, I'm running low on that. Let me go grab some. Just the fact that you're thinking of that brand alone specifically is what they get. Because like, let's say I think the Super Bowl is probably the big one here, at least in America. So like, let's say I drop a watch commercial and my sales go up like 500,000, I could easily attribute it to that one commercial, not necessarily that single play alone, but people have thought about it, they saw it, and then they bought like 3 months later. So in this quarter the sales went up because of the commercials we played in that.
Yeah.
Because you could easily take away the commercials or their advertising and then see the huge decline in sales. It's one of those things like about, like, let's say our channel. Like, if people don't know about our channel, like, it's something you don't know, so how do you know? You don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
So, like, now that I know about this product, whether I'm here in America or watching overseas, it's there. It's fucking in your face.
So
now you know.
So you're saying we should get business cards with a QR code on it with our channel?
Yeah.
Yeah, go hand them out.
We're going to get a Squarespace.
Yeah, do an airdrop over a city with all these pamphlets.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you see talking about UAPs? You know what a UAP is?
Mm-mm.
It's
maybe I do, but
it's the new word for UFO. It's some more like
a phenomenon, unidentified aerial phenomenon.
It's the less woo woo.
I was talking about this stuff with my dad the other day. I'm interested to see what you're talking about.
So they big news now. Ever since so did you ever watch Christopher Mellon on Joe Rogan? He's a
no, the name doesn't sound familiar.
He was when Bush and Clinton were in, he was like something to do with the Intel something. I forgot his like actual position, but he was like a Intel dude, policy guy. But he was a closet UFO nut. And then he started like making it, because you can't talk about this stuff because they'll look at you like you're a fucking weirdo, and then they'll ostracize you like a bigot.
Yeah.
I'll use the big words. But he came on and he talked about some videos that hadn't been released and this, that, and the other. And I think one of them they mentioned just got released a few days ago from Jeremy Corbell, who's the dude that went on with Bob Lazar on Joe Rogan.
Everyone thought he was annoying, right?
Yeah. The guy that
I think he's kind of annoying. He just tries to interject, whatever.
So he put out some videos on Instagram, or a video, and it was from it was recent. It was like 2019. It was a video filmed off of, which I don't know how it's 2019. When I watched the video, I was like, what was this in like the fucking 50s?
Yeah.
It was horrible quality. It was like somebody recording with their phone another screen, I think. So I was like, okay. It was probably some sailor that was like...
With some light shining down on it.
Glare. It was probably some 18-year-old sailor that was like, oh, I'm going to film this and leak it. But it was a video filmed off of USS something other. I can't remember the ship. Out in San Diego, off the coast. 2019. And it's this... it's footage of... I don't know if it was a gun cam. It was one of the IR sensors was following it. And someone recorded the screen, it looked like. And this thing is just going along, like right above the horizon. And then it dips under and goes underwater and disappears. And then this, like the UFO thing is starting to get like, it's getting pretty big in the news. Like the whole age. So this is an interesting thing I've been thinking of. So this, I remember when I was a kid, like the UFO thing, because it wasn't a UAP back then. I don't know what It's a UFO, okay? We'll use a cool term.
Unidentified
Aerial phenomenon.
Which is, what was it before?
Unidentified flying object.
Oh, UFO. Okay, yeah, UFO, UAP. That just sounds so weird, like UAP. Anyways,
okay,
sorry.
I'll get. So the UAP thing, so unidentified flying object. That when you say object, I don't know how to explain that one as good. So phenomenon. I can explain the phenomenon one better. When you say phenomenon, you're saying like that now leads it to have the possibility of being a phenomenon. Maybe it's a natural phenomenon.
Yeah.
And it's just identified and it's in the sky.
I think the object was just the fact that it was like a polygon, you could say, just a random shape.
Yeah. When you say object, you are kind of alluding towards a like man-made. Oh, it's a man-made object.
Spaceship,
Oh, a fucking spaceship. They don't want to attribute this idea of like a flying saucer image in your head. They want to attribute to a phenomenon, which
the light was magically shining that way.
It's a very clever. It's really clever because it doesn't. I guess maybe it's better because maybe you can talk about now and not sound as much as a nut.
Yeah, it kind of desensitizes you a little bit,
Yeah, because
I think
when you say UFO, you automatically think of Area 51 and a flying saucer and little green men. When you say
night vision goggles.
When you say unidentified aerial phenomenon, it's no longer a flying object. It's a phenomenon in the air. So it sounds less, tinfoil hat, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
So anyways, I shouldn't have done that because now I forgot. So yeah, I remember when I was like a kid, the talk of UFOs was like, oh, do you believe in UFOs? And like everybody was like most people were against it and they didn't believe in UFOs and talk about seeing UFOs and swearing up and down they've seen. Well, like now, if you are a believer of what the U.S. government says and like what the Pentagon is, that day of like I wonder if is no longer a thing. Right now we're in an age where it's a given and it's understood and admitted that UAPs, UFOs, whatever you want to call them, are just a part of our society now.
Yeah.
Which is pretty freaking cool because, I mean, and it kind of like slowly and not even like quickly or like anything to create like not an uproar, but like a disturbance in society. We kind of just like, yeah, UFOs are here. And everybody's like, oh, that's it? No, like freaking out or like, oh, the Pentagon admits that. But yeah, so we're being told by the government that there are things here with us on this planet with video proof on several occasions and eyewitness accounts from pilots saying that these things are here and they're doing shit that with our current technology and understanding of physics is impossible, going like from 0 to 100 Gs.
Yeah.
Something that a human being or any living thing on this planet could endure. 100 Gs? Are you kidding me? You would splatter against the wall. You'd get crushed into the wall.
Yeah. On
your flight from freaking San Diego to Colombia, you had 100 Gs, yeah, you would get crushed through the seat and fly out the bottom. Like, you don't even know what 100 Gs would do.
Yeah.
So, also on top of that, 3 days ago, it has like a lot of views, like several millions of views. Mm-hmm. 60 Minutes put out a, I think, 15-minute long video with this pilot talking about UAPs and UFOs. So, yeah, it's starting to get a lot of this. The whole UFO scene is getting like a lot of attention, and Congress tasked the Pentagon. I might be mixing that up. Congress is involved in here somewhere. Somebody told somebody, one or the other, that in a month they want a full released report on UAPs.
Yeah, Congress would direct that.
Yeah. So, dude, in a month, we got some fucking big news coming. Whatever they want to tell us.
It's weird. So, I was kind of talking this with my dad yesterday because there's like the whole transparency, accountability thing with like America, like in our generation thing. Even I guess you could say the people of the Roswell, so like the '60s and shit, when like UFOs were like a huge thing, you know, when they got real national attention initially. But like I think we're kind of demanding that more. I hate to say that word, but that word is
demanding.
Yeah,
We demand justice.
I think people do demand it, man. It's like the big thing nowadays. It's like you can't just request it; you have to demand it, and it's like I feel like that word's kind of lost its touch. You know, it's not as
Oh yeah, you're
sparingly
demanding me to put my mask on while you sit over there.
Yeah, I demand you wash your hands. Like, no, fuck you. Like, don't demand anything.
Your actions are saying otherwise.
Yeah.
This is a very weak demand.
I feel like you would use that word like in rare occasions. You know, like I demand. It's almost like a king thing. I demand you go fuck yourself off over there.
You can't demand somebody to do something unless you're displaying the means that you're going to force them if they decline.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do next? Because if someone says
demand me harder,
I demand you to do something, your inclination is gonna be, or what?
Yeah.
Like you and whose army? What are you gonna fucking do?
I love that saying. Yeah. You and what army?
Are you gonna shoot me? What are you gonna do? You're not gonna do nothing.
But I just think that America is kind of expecting it now that, you know, they got a taste of it, especially in quarantine. I think last year they had some stuff. But
Damn,
they just kind of want more information. And then, you know, since America's kind of made a small rumble, you'll say, that's why Congress is saying something, is because Congress, you know, they have to know certain things. So, like, why all of a sudden UFOs, UAPs? Well, their constituents, you know, the people back in the representatives back home, or the people that elected the senators, whatever the heck they're called, are asking them, hey, find out more on this. And I think enough people across America are like, Joe Rogan started it. Now we got the media starting it. 60 Minutes is here. What are you guys doing?
Yeah. It sounds like a giant fanboy to say, but he is too big of an influencer and too big of a platform, voice, whatever you want to call him, distributor of information. I don't think it's any coincidence that, like, between Bob Lazar, David Fravor, and Christopher Mellon going on, 3 like credible people, in my opinion. Yeah. Which I 100% believe Bob Lazar. Just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got these people going on, and then you got Area 51 documentary coming on Netflix, and then you have David Fravor going to the news and saying his shit, and now you got 60 like it. For them to just sit back and be like, nope, don't know anything, is like, oh, really? No, we're demanding you to turn over the information.
I mean, they had the thing, I think it was 2000, it was either last year or it was 2019. They had the whole raid Area 51 bullcrap, run like Naruto.
Mm-hmm. Isn't it crazy that, I don't know how much you can attribute to one dude, but isn't it crazy that we might get some info on, like, not necessarily aliens, but like the UFOs, which is kind of alien. It's alien technology.
Well, I think the word terrestrial or extraterrestrial, it's just anything but from Earth, you know?
So potentially because of one guy, Joe Rogan, bringing on all these alien people, we're going to get like some secrets that everybody has been waiting their whole life for. Yeah. Like,
some people have died. They still don't know.
Yeah. Because of one dude. Isn't that crazy? Like, that's fucking power right there.
Yeah. Well, it's
like, hey, what do you guys want to know about? Oh, what's that? The Loch Ness Monster? Yeah, I got you. And just start bringing on people, and then demand whoever knows.
I mean, the media will do that to you. I mean, I'm not trying to get too crazy on the soapbox with that, but like, you know, they just kind of get you thinking on something, and then you're kind of like stuck in that. You know, that's, if you could just think about like the main things, like the border, the jobs, foreign policy. You know, you just talk about those 3 things, and then that's what people run with. You know, and now like they started to throw in all this random things like UFOs, UAPs. Something else to think about.
Yeah. Oh, another one of my tangents. This probably could be easily shut down because I haven't done too much research. I did a very small amount of research on this. So with the whole like UFO, UAP thing, it's not even speculated. It has been admitted by the U.S. Pentagon that there are craft here not of this world. This is a literal no shit quote from the Pentagon.
Recently?
That was somewhat recently. It was after David Fravor came out with his F-18 video and all that. Might have been 2019.
Yeah.
So if we believe what the government says, which based on this last year, we do believe what government people say. Put on the mask, right?
Unfortunately,
puts on the mask. So if we're going off the basis that we believe everything that they're saying, like I said, we're past. Oh, I wonder if they are here, or I wonder if UFOs. No, we're past that. They are here. They're here as much as there's a Ford Mustang going on the road. They're just here as part of society now.
We can't tell you where they're at, but they're here.
Yeah. So with all this and all this big hype, and like I said, I might be wrong. I have not heard or seen a peep out of any space organization on this Earth. SETI, you know what that is? SETI. Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence.
No.
It's been going on for years. It's a program that has been going on for a long fucking time.
Yeah.
Billions of dollars.
Jeez.
Their job is what their acronym is. They point their telescopes or radio telescopes or actual telescopes to the sky, and they try to find signs of extraterrestrial life out there. Billions of miles and millions of light years away, hoping to find something. Well, unless it was something small, I haven't heard shit out of them over them finding any kind of sign of any kind of life. None. Yeah. Nothing. It would be huge news if that was the case. So you got these people who are looking for life and intelligence. And then on our own planet, right here in our atmosphere, you have video proof from... Okay, videos. You have proof from sensors and radars on ships. You have eyewitness account proof. You have proof, just proof on proof.
Multiple.
Yes. Of a, not necessarily proof of life, but proof of a technology that, according to what we have around us, is impossible for us to create today. It's the same as if I showed up with a Lambo in the freaking 1500s.
Yeah.
Like, it's completely light years ahead of our time. It's a familiar technology, just something flying around the sky, just not in a way that we have. So, like I said, you have all these people. Their job is to look for extraterrestrial life. What the fuck is that? Do you have nothing to say about that? You don't even want to say, like, I mean, it would be kind of like speculative for them to say, oh, there's UFOs. That probably means aliens or this, that, and the other. But if they saw something like that in space, if they caught a signal emitted from a craft flying in space, are they going to say? I bet they would say something. They'd say I know they would, because that's what they look for. They look for signals emitted. So, if one of these craft on Earth that they filmed emitted signals and they captured that on one of their sensors and reported that would be like, all right, we got it all. This thing fucking sent a signal.
Yeah.
And it's in this, it's like this weird, it's encrypted and we have no clue what this is. What are you going to say to that? SETI? Nothing? You don't want to say anything. NASA? You? What about any of these other space agencies? SpaceX? Nothing. Yeah. Just dead silence. What is it? Do you believe or do you not believe?
You ever seen Interstellar?
Yeah, favorite movie of all time.
Like at the end when he's playing with the books, but it's like the fifth dimension.
Yeah, like, it's a very troubling scene.
That's
made
like
me cry.
Trippy. Like imagine if that's what's going on. Like
they're interdimensional. That was a theory.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my rant, the thing that bothers me is, it's like it comes down to pick a side. Like SETI obviously believes that there is life outside this Earth.
Yeah.
Because they wouldn't be spending billions of dollars and however many years to operate these sensors and all these other things to look for life. So they obviously believe that there is something out there. When you have it not even in space and you don't even need a telescope to see it, you can use your own eyeballs to look up at it. And they don't want to make any kind of, like, are they even paying money to people to help, like, investigate this more? Are they even, in fact, helping out the military to help them look into it? Like, oh, wow, that's interesting. Yeah, well, we got you, Pentagon and Navy. We'll actually help you investigate this. Which one is it? Do you believe in life? So why aren't, is this just, like, not good enough? Like, what is it? I think they don't want to be like criticized.
Yeah.
That it's like you're not allowed to say anything about a UFO on Earth because you're a UFO alien Roswell Area 51 believer weirdo. But if you saw a craft in space, I guess it's kind of like it's like free game.
Yeah.
Or something. It's like it has a different.
It's no boundary.
It's like I think what it is. I think this could be it. So when you have people that say, "Oh, I saw a UFO here on Earth," I was at the beach one day and I saw a UFO. I swear to you, I saw it. I didn't get a video or anything. I saw it though. You look at you're always skeptical of voices like that. So I think that has tarnished sightings on Earth. So if you see a UFO out in space, usually you can't see it with your naked eye. You're going to use some kind of photographing method, which you will have then hard proof of. So it's like they don't want to comment on the thing that's already been tarnished. A UFO sighting, that word alone has been tarnished. It's silly, kind of, because of the nut jobs that say they swear they saw shit. But if you, it's like if you read the headline, NASA, let's say like NASA has footage of like a UFO sighting off the coast of California. Vice, NASA has footage taken from space of a flying craft.
Yeah.
Those two things have, one is like, all right, that could be kind of bullshit. And the other one is like, holy shit, you saw something flying in space? They have like two different kind of like weights to them. Mm-hmm. So it's not like you're not allowed to say anything about the stuff on Earth, but if it's in space, it's like it's okay or something. I don't know. I guess that's an okay way of explaining it, but I don't know how they can't even entertain this idea that you don't need to look up there. Stop pointing your stuff up in space. They're here. They're possibly under the water, like we've already seen.
Yeah.
Thing goes under the water. We don't know what's in our seas. There's so much shit in our seas. We don't know some vast majority of our seas. We don't know what's down there, what's lurking around. So
yeah. I kind of think like similar to like the NRA kind of thing. Like, what does the NRA actually do for gun rights? Like, a lot would say, some would say, I should say, that they do something, and then others would say they don't do shit, which I'm on that side. I don't think they do fucking anything for us. Yeah. But, like, this SETI thing is, like, you know, why would they say that they found anything? Because then they stop receiving money, you know? That could be part of it, too. So, like, yeah, they're, like, the dedicated organization, but once they say they got the cat in the bag, then you're not going to be excited anymore. You know, so when something does come along, it has to be, like you're saying, in space, out of this world, something you've never seen before.
It seems like that is something they would just they could not resist jumping on. I don't know how. Like I said, if they put out a story saying they've discovered life on X planet, that would be big news for them because they haven't put out shit like that. Because you know why? Because they haven't found anything. Yeah. Because either it's not out there, or it's out there and they haven't found it. So this is their chance to like really study these things here on Earth, and they could get something. Come on, just get some kind of bounce back, some kind of RF off it.
Yeah, I wonder if there's like a conflict with the government and them, like secretly maybe, or maybe it's public but it's not, you know, covered as well. Mm-hmm. But like the government saying there's things here, but then SETI is like, no, there's not. You know, we haven't caught anything. What are you finding? And they're like, oh, we got all this, you know, this evidence, like you're saying. I don't know. Maybe it's one of those things that like it's maybe a battle that they have to just kind of push down. You know, like yeah, you can believe the government if you want, but we're the pros here. You know, we haven't said anything, so why are you going to trust the government? I mean, people that would study this stuff typically don't, anyways.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't gotten any.
That's a generalization, by the way.
We haven't gotten like a release from I don't want to say not a credible source because that would be wrong.
What's also subjective. What's credible these days? You know.
Well, I mean, like credible in terms of like, if NASA put out a video or some kind of report of a UFO, Vice, the guy on YouTube is uploading, or not? Yeah, the guy on the ship out in San Diego is uploading a video. Yeah. You could say that's that's just a dude, and that footage has been tampered with and this and the other. Meanwhile, like NASA or SETI puts out something that's like, in terms of like credibility, comparing the two, that one's the more credible source.
For sure.
So you haven't even seen, well, I haven't even seen, probably wrong, that there's been a release from whoever insert big government or private sector company here that deals with space stuff. You've only had the eyewitness accounts in terms of interviews and videos, and that's it. And then they go to the news, and then that, depending on how credible you believe that news source is then dispersing their story. But it started, I'm pretty sure it started with Joe Rogan bringing on
Had to have
Bob Lazar the first time.
I mean, it's like
I think he's only been out once, but
twice now.
Oh yeah. He
I
went.
thought he came solo and then with that one annoying dude, or maybe he came both times with the annoying dude.
Yeah, I think he did. Both times.
I think for sure twice though.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, we talked about him at work for probably a couple weeks after that.
Yeah. So yeah, he's. I think he's legit. But that Christopher Mellon dude, Joe Rogan asked him about Bob Lazar, and he was skeptical of him.
Yeah.
And one, it might have been, if it wasn't too many ways, but one of the ways, it might have been like 2 or 3 ways. But one of the ways is he said, like, he's the intel dude. He knows about like security clearances. Bob Lazar said he had like some kind of security clearance that was like X many levels above like top secret or some shit like that.
Yeah.
And he said that, yeah, that's not a thing. And so after he said that, he started like losing his like confidence in him, I guess, and his like his thing. But I don't know. I think if we're gonna be a believer, if anybody's gonna be like a believer of like the craft or aliens, whatever we want to believe in, who else do we have? Like, we got, I don't know of anybody else that has a as credible and consistent story as that guy. So if Bob Lazar doesn't, you don't even have to be a complete believer. You can be like skeptical, but if you got guys like Bob Lazar, I'm saying this from the perspective of you're a person that's like, no, I believe there's probably life out there, and there could be a possibility of like other technology, and maybe they're here in this. If you're one of those people, and you got Bob Lazar, several different accounts now of the craft from like pilots, and it's pretty much pilots and Bob Lazar.
People that are by themselves usually.
Yeah. And video evidence, and then the government or the Pentagon saying that we got them. If you at this point, I'm not even saying you have to be sold. Like, yep, they're completely here. I'm pretty much there, in all honesty. But if you're not even slightly considering, like, man, wow, that's fascinating, then what's it going to take? You're not a believer.
Yeah.
I told my buddy the other day, I would believe in Jesus Christ tomorrow, provided the evidence. It's like good evidence. I'm not completely married to one side to the point where it's like, he never, yeah, right, that's horse shit. No, just show me enough like proof.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, all the proof for UFOs is on the table. Like what else is it going to take? Certainly, what one has to fly over you and abduct you? Like, what's next?
Yeah, I mean that's part of. I think when you think about, I guess people picking sides.
Mm-hmm.
You need that proof, and that's like what is the? I guess not confidence, but solidarity that it is what it is. You know, so like if you have all these lone wolves, right, get interactions or that are way off from normal society, you don't get the masses, right? So like let's say if I pop a firework, there's going to be at least a couple hundred people that see it, not just one, right? Unless you're literally in fucking nowhere. So I think that's part of it, is like there's not enough happening in large scales that it's like attractive, you know? It's all people like word of mouth, one or two people maybe. They're like yeah, this is it. This is the thing. But then there's not like a whole city that's like, oh shit, did you just see that thing like right now?
Yeah.
That you don't get any of that. And I think that's what makes it hard to believe. And like you talk about Jesus, is like you kind of have a book and some artifacts, but you don't have nothing like proof. You don't have like a, I don't know, 100% proof that Jesus touched this one thing. That, so he actually walked the earth, you know?
I almost kind of like the videos being released now. Like one of the videos was like, well, the past two of the videos released were filmed on like someone's phone. You could tell.
Yeah.
Like the one with he was like recording the screen, and then this other one, I guess it was a sailor, was filming with his phone. I'm pretty sure through some NVGs, looking up at the sky, and that was a video released like a month ago. It was like these pyramid shaped craft things.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
So when you have like those like homemade videos, the likelihood of them being like whatever, because there's always going to be the dismissers. So let's say you had a very professionally shot, high quality like UFO sighting video. The chances of that having the possibility to be tampered with is higher.
Yeah.
Because they got it on a tripod, so it's nice and stable. So when they edit it, you can't tell as much. When you got this shitty kind of like, and there's a give and take. Like if it's complete shit and you came in like, all right, that's just like a bird and it just looks like that because your quality is that bad.
Yeah.
But when it's good enough to where you can be like, oh no, that's like actually a craft, then the confidence that you have, I think, should go up, and the confidence that has been tampered with or edited in some fashion. So, but as far as like a lot of people seeing it, I don't know, because what needs to happen is something big needs to happen over, and this is where you can get into like, ooh, they know better, the craft flyers.
Oh yeah,
the people flying the craft, because all these sightings are around ships, the naval ships. I'm not saying that's the only place where they're flying around, but it's the only place that they're flying around. People see them and film them.
Yeah.
So the second you have something big, I mean, this happened before though. You can find them on YouTube, but like now, like with social media and like how like Facebook Live and all this other bullshit, you're in LA and the whole city sees something, and it's just like you got all these different video angles and all these different people filming it, and it creates a huge stir on the internet and it goes around. Yet that wouldn't be, I don't know, because it's almost like it's kind of funny. So it was, like I said, it was admitted by the Pentagon that there's otherworldly craft here. Yeah. And you didn't see anybody freaking out or anything.
Yeah.
If you had,
I didn't freak out. I didn't care.
If you had a video like that of somebody of thousands of people, here they come, the aliens are coming, filming. Yeah. The amount of hysteria that would stir up is probably, the chances of that starting to like some kind of stir would be a lot higher than the Pentagon saying it, which is hilarious. It's like your own government said a few years ago they're here, and you didn't do shit. But now that it's going around on social media, it's suddenly like a thing. It's like, no, you're kind of late to the game. You just happen to see it now.
Yeah, it's like people that say like 9/11 didn't happen when there were so many angles, so many camera, like so much pictures, footage, real life experiences, like everything. Yeah. And like people are still denying that even took place. Not everybody, but a small fraction, we'll say. So like would that happen with UFOs? Is that happening now in front of our face, just to a larger extent? You know, maybe there is enough evidence out there, but we're just kind of, not enough people are speaking out, or not enough believers, maybe, you know. I guess it kind of gets religious in that sense, but
yeah, there needs to be a maybe if they're listening, maybe they might watch our podcast, the aliens. It's almost like I'm saying they coming off the basis that they're intelligent life controlling this, or they know, or whatever the fuck. They understand that the amount of hysteria that would be caused if they started buzzing freaking New York with their supersonic craft things that move at speeds that don't even make sense. I guess they're just trying to like play it quiet. Like, all right, we'll fly around ships, and then the Navy will start reporting us. oh, the Pentagon just brought us. All right, so it's becoming more and more known, and then they're thinking like, oh, soon, soon the big day is coming.
Yeah,
we're gonna buzz freaking the Empire State Building and hover over and then take off. Get enough people to film it.
Yeah, I think about I don't know. I just never won't forget it kind of thing. Is my dad was telling me like growing up that like there's been multiple times to our lifetime where like an asteroid, I think it's an asteroid, right? Like the huge ones.
Yeah.
Will get like super close to Earth and like they'll maybe miss us by like 20,000 miles, which is still really close. But then I'm just like, that's crazy just to think about, like something, you know, we don't know until like the day of that it potentially will hit, and that it's going to happen. And then you have these UFOs that are just kind of flying around like, you know, maybe we do know and it's too late by the time we know, and then, you know, it's gone. So we can't really identify it. You know, that's why it's unidentifiable kind of thing. But yeah, I don't know what would happen if it was like something crazy like that where it attacked New York. That'd be interesting to see. But we also think like that we're the only ones still, you know? And
yeah, which is hilarious.
We're like not vulnerable. Like if the asteroid hit us, we're dead. Yeah. Like the Earth's either gonna blow up or it's gonna be so badly damaged that we can't even survive on it.
Yeah. Speaking of asteroids, Lex Freeman had he had this chick on. I can't remember her name. She was a space girl, and in 2029, there's gonna be an asteroid passing by within the distance of communication satellites to Earth.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That's like our atmosphere almost.
Yeah, it's a close one. Yeah. And yeah, they're tracking that one. It has a name for it. They named it, but just that alone, like, and he brought up, he was like, because like you're tracking this thing and your calculations should be pretty much down on the money. But he was saying like, okay, because obviously in 8 years when this thing's passing by us, it's going to be in the news.
Yeah.
She said you'll be able to see it.
Jeez.
With the naked eye, which is fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
Like, oh, there it goes. Woo! Dodge that one.
Yeah.
So when you have this, 'cause it's going to be all over the news. And then he was saying like, what if they came out like the day before and was like, sorry, miscalculation, it's going to impact. Like,
we're all going to die.
What happens? I mean, you saw what happened with the freaking gas. Come on. We'll probably kill ourselves before it even hits.
Yeah.
No amount of freaking hysteria, just like people losing their minds.
I mean, think about the stupid gas thing that just happened.
Yeah, the gas thing, the gas pipeline. Yeah.
Times like your life. Mm-hmm. Literally.
I need to look into that. I want to read more about it. But yeah, there's gonna be an asteroid.
It's gonna get real damn close. I wonder how much shit's gonna get messed up by then. Think about like if it's getting that close that it's within a calm window. What is anything gonna get knocked out? If it is, can you redirect it?
Yeah. So let's see. She was saying this is something interesting. I didn't really think of. So he brought up deflecting asteroids and stuff. Asteroids, meteors. Yeah, asteroids. It's not a meteor. So to maneuver an asteroid around Earth, I always kind of looked at like you hit it from the side.
Yeah.
You hit it with the spaceship from the side. Actually, I mean, that works. But in other ways, you can hit it from the front or back to speed it up or slow it down. Because if we're rotating like this and, you know, it's coming at us, if you speed it up, then that means it might go in front of us. And if you slow it down, like we're going to scoot in front of it, it's going to dodge us. So you only have to hit it from the side.
Yeah.
Which is...
Because we're rotating in a circle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Orbiting.
So if you're heading... It kind of it makes a little bit more sense because if you're heading straight for it, then you can just do a head-on, kind of like not collision, but a head-on link up with it, and then just hit the thrust and slow it down, and then that's it.
But what do you thrust it with? Does it have to be a robot or many robots? One giant?
No, it'd just be like a rocket ship.
Yeah.
Have to have a lot of fuel on it. Like
yeah.
Slow that thing down.
Big Bessie flying through.
Send a couple of them up there, but like we can't just like scramble a rocket. What is this, like F-16s you're scrambling?
Well, think of how long it takes to build a fucking rocket. Yeah. Just one. It takes years.
If we got told like, all right, we got 1 year, We just found this asteroid and it's coming right towards us. We got 1 year.
It'd have to be a worldwide initiative.
Yeah.
Which would be not possible.
The first like 5 months would be world leaders sit around bitching at each other in a room like, no, we need to do like this. And then it would be so much like going back and forth. And then they would get it going. Like, how can we do that? Can we just like produce a freaking rocket? Just make one out of thin air?
I think we could.
Here's our rocket.
Fucking us, some NATO, Russia, China. Go.
I would hope so. But
at that point, you wouldn't even care about how advanced the technology is. You just want to stop it. You know? Because then it's like a new baseline, if you think about it that way. So, like, you know, we're kind of scattered, and then we build this huge futuristic rocket. Well, after that, we all at least have an idea, and then we can kind of, you know, build off how we want our own way. So I don't think it would be bad, but they might, you know, the leaders at the time.
Yeah, it could be good. Because we never had the initiative to, like, produce one, like, quick.
We'd be forced to. Otherwise, we'd all die. Some people would die. Like, there'd be conflict in some degree.
I'd rather, like, an Earth destroyer hit us than one that, like, takes out just, like, a city.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. That way, we're done. Bye.
Because, just think if, like, I don't know, we'll say any city. Let's say it just hit Europe, like dead center of Europe, and it fucked up all of Europe for the most part. The amount of, like, how do you rebuild I don't know. Because, I mean, we rebuilt cities during the war.
Well, I don't think it's necessarily that. Like, how is the climate going to change?
So, like, well, that's the
one. You know, does it cloud the Earth?
Yeah.
And you don't even get sunshine? Like,
yeah, it put us in an ice age, apparently.
Yeah.
A lot of, like, one that is big enough to, you know, send a bunch of ash and smoke and shit up into the sky.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. The amount of hysteria that would be on this planet if Europe just got really fucked up. Not completely. The world's still intact, but just we have like 200 million less people.
Maybe even billions, yeah.
Yeah. Well, if you're talking like it hits in Asia,
yeah,
like Central Asia and the Middle East.
Well, what happens to our water? You know, if there's an ice age, like, can you burn that water at all?
Yeah, it'd be
bad. You have
to
lick it, your tongue gets stuck. You have a freaking Christmas Story moment. You're like,
It'd be a miserable time.
Yeah.
Because you got, you know, whatever area, it's no longer there. And now, here comes the ice age. Crops, I don't know what the fuck's going to happen to those. The ocean's freezing. Yeah, it'd be an extinction, but it'd be a slow, spiraling death.
Oh, yeah.
I'd rather just get fucking schwacked all in one go.
Yeah.
Just take the whole thing.
That's kind of like why, like, today, like, I just, a lot of problems that people have, like, just don't make sense. Because, like, something like that. So, like, you're spinning your wheels in life. Life's, like, you know, terrible. And then, like,
don't mean nothing.
Bam, you're dust.
Yeah,
and it's just crazy. Or, like, you collapse. I don't know.
I think we talked about it before. It's like the asteroid don't care about your raise you just got and how your life is about to get much better.
Yeah.
Doesn't care. It doesn't care about anything that makes you feel like you're just nothing can stop you. Like I'm on my A game right now. I'm doing good at work and my relationship is doing good and I'm super healthy right now and boom. Nope, don't care.
Yeah.
Nothing revolves around you. And you could say you don't even have to attribute to an asteroid. You can go take one walk in a densely populated forest with bears. You'll learn real quick that the world don't care.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna get
shit on.
You're gonna get destroyed by nature here on Earth. It doesn't even take an asteroid.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, you think you're immortal? Yeah, tell it to the cougar that's gonna jump on you.
Yeah.
Like you're not special in any facet at all.
You might think better and be in some sort of hierarchy, but at the end of the day, like, it doesn't matter, you know? That just kind of drives me nuts. Is like there was a guy in our school, my brother. It was one of my brother's friends, and a lot of other people's, I'm sure. but he just died from like a car accident, you know. And I'm just like, I feel like every time someone dies around me, whether it's someone I knew close or distant, it's just like the idea of death and like just what we can and can't control.
Yeah.
And definitely how short life is. I mean, in 15 years, like, you know, I'll be 40, which is crazy.
Wow. You old fuck.
So by the time my kid's in high school, I'll be 40, you know. But it's just like, I think about like these problems and stuff, especially in life, and I'm just like, man, it's not a problem. It might be my problem, but it's not a problem.
Mm-hmm.
So I just kind of approach a lot of things that way now, especially in the past probably couple months. It's just kind of like, man, why are you worried about that? Like, is that really something like that you need to like think about tomorrow? Like, it's weird thinking this way because like high school me, I would never even have thought this way. You know, I would have thought like everything was a big problem, but I think people need to just stop worrying. You know, just kind of let go.
Something else that I've thought about before too, talking about that, is at any given time, your proximity to other people's unspoken massive problems in their life.
Yeah.
So what I mean by that is something that got me thinking about this. This is a long time ago. It was one of those police shooting dash cam videos, and it was this video of these. I have the tie-in. It was this video of, you know, traffic stop on the side of this busy interstate in the morning. And yeah, these two cops just get a crazy shootout with this guy. Like they're fucking
slinging guns.
It was pretty bad. Like he jumped into the ditch to roll away, take cover. It was really bad. And so I read in the comments section, it was like, it's wild to think that while these people are just driving to work in the morning, listening to the radio, just another day at office, drinking their coffee. No problems in the world. You're driving right past these guys in the fight for their entire life.
Yeah.
On the line. Like, it's two different worlds.
Definitely.
Right next to each other. You got no problems, no care in the world, easy going. Meanwhile, right next to you in the other lane on the shoulder of the road, fight for your life, near death. You know?
Yeah.
And you could be like just walking down the road one day, and you could just pass by someone who they just got the phone call that their kid got killed in a car accident, and you just walk right past them, and it's like, holy shit! Like your proximity to giant problems and like actual problems, and it's weird knowing that is a problem occurring in someone's life, and then you just like have no. It's like, what if that news was in your world, or that problem was in your world?
Yeah.
It's like two different realities happening right next to each other.
Yeah.
It's an interesting thing to think about. That gets into the alternate realities thing too. I was wanting to bring up.
Yeah.
So I've thought about this a good bit. Another name for it is like the thing I'll talk about is the butterfly effect. You ever heard of that?
Yeah, the movie too is a good one.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like how it's like all of reality is completely in sync. Everything affects something else. Like I was talking with one of my buddies. We were just out sitting outside his hotel, it's probably a month and a half ago, and we were talking about like how like everything you do currently affects something in the future, like pretty much no matter how small and insignificant you think it is. So the example that we use is like, yeah, what if because we were sitting outside and we were like sitting down in chairs and there was like a stool, and I was like, yeah, so like me grabbing, actually it was him, he was like, so me grabbing this stool right here and moving it over here means that tomorrow morning that guy that comes down and reads his book in the morning, he's going to sit right there now, vice right there. And because he's sitting there, a seagull is going to happen like fly over that spot and like shit on him. And he's going to get shitted on just because of us moving the chair.
Yeah.
And like, and then just Bill's like, all right, now he's got to go, shit, I don't have another shirt. Let me go try to clean my shirt. Fuck, now I'm going to be late to work. up, and that was the last straw because he already messed up a few times. Now he's fired.
Yeah.
His boss had enough of him. He was fired, all because of me moving the stool. It's like and you can almost say like you can create these steps, like you can be the initiator of the butterfly effect if your initial reason to like change something in reality was a thought. So like if something caused me to move the chair and I did it on accident, then that's not really a thing. But what if you want to be like a butterfly effect initiator, and all you did in your day is go around and arbitrarily change small things in the world around you. So like you I don't know, down the boardwalk, you moved the trash can. No, just because you wanted to. Like you altered things in space, particularly like positions maybe, which will have effects later on down the road. So like it could be small things. All right, I'm gonna move that trash can 5 feet that way. That affects reality completely. That person, those people that now want to use that are going to now take a different route in space to walk to that trash can. And I'm gonna stop that guy on his walk. Hey, how you doing? Oh, what do you listen to? Oh, I like that band. Start up a 5-minute conversation. Now he is 5 minutes later on his route, which could cause him to not get ran over by that car that was going to hit him as he crossed the street. Like if you wanted to just go out and like you didn't by happenstance change things going on around you, like you didn't like you chose to do things. Like you didn't just happen to strike up a conversation with someone, or you didn't happen to trip and fall and actually accidentally like move something. You went around and just was like, I'm gonna move that, I'm gonna talk to him, and I'm gonna go over there and pet that dog. And it's like you're doing this with the intention to alter space and like change realities, because that does change realities. If you alter someone's position in space, it's pretty much all you need to do. Alter a position of something. If you alter the position of anything in space, it's going to have a compounding effect in the long run.
I was I don't know. I think I read it. This girl mentioned this 5-second rule that her father had told her about, and it was when you're driving. So like when you're at a complete stop, or even if I think it's actually just a complete stop. So like a red light, you'll wait 5 seconds. You count in your head 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, however fast, I guess. And she remembers the usefulness of that in her life because she waited 5 seconds, and as soon as she let off the gas, a huge accident happened in front of her, right? Like, oh, man, thank God Dad told me. But I just think of, like, on the way here, I was thinking about that. It's like, so if I did that every day for 5 seconds of my life at every stop sign, you'd probably have your own parameters or when you would decide to use this 5-second rule. How much life have you wasted? How much life... What have you altered in your own life? Would I have met somebody, because I, whether it was a relationship or friendship, picking up a package, right? Like I was waiting for a package and then I was there on time because I did all these things leading up to it. But had I waited 5 seconds, he would have just kind of glanced just enough to where he wouldn't have seen me like waving at him, caught his attention. So like, purposely doing it. I feel like purposefully their time is getting altered as well because the world's so big. So like other people are just randomly doing things that you don't account for. So like, you're changing the stool, but then someone in another room that you're going to be in 5 years is moving a chair one way to the left, I don't know. It's just kind of crazy. Like the butterfly effect is just so random and so unpredictable.
I mean, I'm not... I don't want to sell like, because you did that is this good thing happening. No, it could... All reality is, all this is, even you and I sitting here today is because of something that happened X amount of time in the past. Like, all reality is a result of things being altered. Because if the world was everything remaining stationary, nothing moved, nothing interacted with anything, it would just continue on a completely predictable linear path. But because somebody 100 years ago in Germany stopped and tied their shoe and then passed by somebody and talked to that person and then ended up having a family is the reason why I potentially am here today.
Yeah.
You know, it's like that's all reality is. Like all outcomes are just people and objects and other things in the environment interacting with each other.
Yeah, it's hard, but I'm trying to do it myself. Is like just enjoy the moment, you know. Like, yeah, I have like 1,000 things to do, you know, or I have these timelines I need to meet. But like, I try to not care about that. I'll try to remember the best I can. That's why I've actually gotten to the point where I'm starting to write down things more often and in more areas, like different calendars or just like actual in writing my like journals and stuff. Because I just want to enjoy the moment. I when I'm done doing whatever I'm doing, whether it's work, whether it's personal or like stuff with other people, I want to like enjoy it, you know? And it's like, yeah, like, you know, maybe I'm here for an hour and maybe I could have left 15 minutes early to go do something for something else. But I'm like, I'm here for a reason, you know? I don't think it's a higher God thing. I don't think any of that religious stuff. I just think like I'm here because I want to be here, you know? And it's good that I'm here, and the effects, positive or negative down the road, don't matter because I'm going to have to handle it when it happens.
Yeah.
So I try to like get better at that, I guess.
So something about I was wanting to talk about this on the last episode, religion and free will on that piece. So this thought came up to me over I was thinking about, and this isn't shitting on the religious people, but religious folks will I know you've heard very often throughout your life, like, God told me he spoke to me and I did this, or like God led me here and God did X, Y, and Z. They're attributing their action, it's usually positive actions, to a higher power. So they're saying they don't have free will, so to speak. Like and what got this started is that it's kind of like off the trail thing, but it ties in. I got this thought over my dad. He texted me one day and we were talking about he sent me a picture of a hot air balloon because where we live, you can see hot air balloons flying around sometimes in the country. Yeah. And I asked him, like, I actually need to look into this. This could be a side piece. Like, how the fuck you steer those things? Like, how do you pick where you go? And I asked him, and he said, well, I think it's just the wind. And then they got to, whenever they want to set it down, they set it down a field, and then a truck, they have their buddy come and get them in their truck and load it up. And he told me, several years ago, one was flying over our house, and he was low enough that he could, like, talk loudly, and he could hear him. And he said, where are you going? And he said, wherever the good Lord takes us. And then that got me thinking. I was like, so it's not like where it's like everything is attributed to a higher power. So there's this idea in religion that a lot of the stuff you do, some people would say like everything to do, like I got up this morning because God let me. Like, God gave me another day. Like, everything is God. Like, everything. Why are we doing this show? Oh, God put me in a place where I met you and I became good friends, and God let me have enough money so I could buy this podcasting equipment. And God let me do everything is like based. Nothing is you. Like, you're just this puppet. Like, God is leading you, and pulling the strings. However you want to look at it. You're just a descendant of his power, basically. So I was like, so this idea of like not having free will is like, it's pretty old. Like, so what about the simulation? Do you think this is free will? Like, what? And so Sam Harris was on, and he was talking about free will. And coincidentally, we talked about this in our last podcast. I'm pretty sure Lex Friedman, Sam Harris, and Joe Rogan, and some other people watch our show. But no, I hope they do. But so Sam Harris was talking about free will, and he was just a simple little test. He said, you can test this right now. The simple little test is like, think of a thought right now. Any thought from like your past or like just, and it's like, boom, where did that thought, you didn't know 2 seconds ago that you're going to think that thought. Like, did you even pick that thought? Like, I tried it, and then like this thought of me riding my bike for the first time without training wheels came into my head. I did not pick that though. It's like someone or God, whatever you want,
Planted it there.
the simulation dragged and dropped the file into your head, and then boom, there's your thought. Like, you didn't say, I want to think about the time that I'll think about that one. Like this, like thoughts coming to you it's like disproving free will almost.
Well, it's also science. Like, it's your brain, like the signal going through your brain, like,
yeah, neurons fire, and then they spit out this memory. Like, why that memory? I didn't pick that. You walking down the sidewalk this morning, and then, oh shit, I forgot to do that. Like, where'd that come from? Like, you didn't, like, it's like there's no, like, but it's okay. People will say like, oh, God reminded me, but like I've already said before, like I'll believe in the simulation before like religion, because we have proof that we build simulations here on Earth and they get better and better every year. Why aren't we in one now? So the free will piece is like so interesting to me, because it's like, it is this like all, it almost makes you go like crazy if you got like really fucking high or something on drugs, and you're like, oh my God, this is all like, you're just this piece of meat walking around
flesh
with the illusion of free choice and free, because the thought thing was, I thought that it's as simple as it is. It's like just a good example of like picking, or you think you're picking your thoughts or whatever.
I mean, I feel like that's kind of, it's weird to like say that, because that's almost contradicting in a sense. Because like personally, like the whole free will thing is like, if you were to say like religion, but then like you want freedom, like I would want the freedom to think however I want. I wouldn't want some other person to put their own thought, That's just as bad as like a government entity or another person controlling you. I just want my own thoughts, So if I go to the bathroom instead of going for a run, I want that to be my thought, not some person.
Yeah.
Something.
I think it's good for people to, if you're a Bible thumper or whatever, it's like, I want you at some point to also give yourself credit.
Yeah, for
like
sure.
You need to, but some people like are so bound to the idea of the higher power.
Yeah.
Like everything in their day is dictated by the higher power.
I just feel like we limit ourselves in some aspects because of that. Like let's say I got a business and like God gave me that business. Well, like what can you do outside your business? Well, I can't do business with that person because they don't believe in the religion that I do. Or you could say it's a free, open religion. Like, we do all these religions, but that one, because that one is like the anti-religion of ours. So like, are you limiting yourself on that aspect? I don't know. I just, pros and cons, I would never, I guess, think that one idea, because a lot of them are very similar to begin with. So like, what makes one better than the other? Where you were born?
Yeah.
In the simulation?
Yeah. Good old simulation.
Yeah.
The boring world outside the simulation. Talked about that one on I think last one or two ago. Oh, and we can maybe close on this one. Our prior deepest thought. Did you hear of the mirrors rant?
Mirrors.
Talking about the mirrors.
Maybe I did. Maybe I don't think so.
So yeah, we can. I just want to get your input on it.
Yeah.
So the deep thought, the thought experiment, was so as far as like replications of reality. We have, simulations, we have movies, photos, realistic video games, VR, all that. So all these are replications of the world around us, or things that look similar kind of to the world around us.
Yeah.
But turn no further than the mirror. The mirror is the greatest replication of reality. It is 100% perfect with a perfect mirror.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much I would need a person who is like very deep into like the deep thoughts to like help me think about, because I feel like I have something here.
Yeah.
Maybe I need to do some psychedelic drugs to fully understand my statement. But yeah, like what is a mirror? It's like this. I don't know. It's kind of fascinating when you look at it in the term. It's not a thing that you look at your reflection. It's like this thing that with precision can replicate reality. Like it can show you things that you don't even see. You can point it around the corner.
Yeah.
And you see around the corner, and it perfectly replicates that world in the size of however big the mirror is.
I got 2 lines of thought. I'm going to be very simplistic, and I'm going to say it's just sand, just heated sand.
Yeah.
And my other, I guess, in-depth thought would be, I guess, kind of 2 on that. I mean, it's just like a glimpse of the world, right? Like it's not big enough to see everything. But what it does see, I guess, like, I guess light would be a thing that it couldn't really explain because light's kind of hard to capture in general. But like, it's replicating light, but like what we see is more of a sensory overload, you know? But like when you look at, like, let's say you were to take a picture of someone pointing a light at a mirror, you would see like the energy, the way it like blooms, like, you know, it could be focused or really out. So I don't even know if a mirror would be a perfect replication of solid figures, yes, but something as complex as light. I don't know. I think water would be fine, but light for sure, because like if it can't accurately capture something like light, or let's say molecules floating through the air, or atoms, whatever it is, I don't know. That's a good kind of question, I guess, if that makes sense. You know, like it's replicating it, but like.
Are you talking about like if you took a picture of a mirror though?
No, I'm just saying like, so like right now, like let's say these lights, right? Like you could see a clear definitive line, but what happens if you flash light on it, like you know, like an actual flash, and it kind of does this own pattern?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's actually replicating, but like the way that we perceive it is a sensory overload. The way the mirror sees it is a unique shape. You know what I'm saying? So like it becomes I don't want to say subjective, but it becomes like a different perspective. You know? So like what we're seeing is like our eye, like we have to squint, you know, because there's so much light, or it's not enough light, so we have to open our eyes. But to the mirror, it's replicating what it sees. Mm-hmm. So it is an actual replication, but like to us, it wouldn't be, you know?
Yeah.
So I guess it can only go so far with light. I don't know, when you introduce light to it. That's just me thinking. It's definitely a perfect, you know, because like there's some mirrors that you could kind of see. It looks like a line.
Yeah.
Where that's like an imperfect mirror, but like a one where you couldn't tell. I don't know. I don't know what the purpose of it. I mean, I don't even know where the hell they originated from. Did some scientist say, "I want to see myself"?
Yeah.
You know, because like there's also, I think it's like the thing with cameras or something. But like when you like look in yourself, like you see yourself different than what you actually are.
Yes.
So like, how do you know what you actually look like if what you're seeing is obscured view of what you're seeing?
Mm. Oh man, that's.
Yeah.
So that's actually kind of like disheartening when you realize you'll never see your face.
Yeah, the right way.
The right way. When you look in the mirror, you posture up and you make yourself look how you want to look.
Yeah.
So when you look at your reflection, whether it's a mirror or water, you're seeing you, but you're seeing you in a reflection that is reflecting a version of you that you created for the pleasure of your eyes better. When you see a picture of you, you're seeing, as far as like how you look to society, they're actually better, because if you don't know you're having a picture taken or a video filmed of you, then it's like, oh, that's how I actually stand. But even then, you're looking at a video digital recreation. As far as like, that's what I'm saying when we're getting to like the recreation aspect. Yeah. Mirrors are the best thing. So when you look at a video, it's a recreation of like light hitting a sensor, which then interprets it and turns into a motion picture.
Yeah.
And you're viewing yourself through a screen that has a loss of clarity and all these other things. So now you're looking at a copy of yourself. And then, I don't know, what else you got? Drawings and paintings. Obviously, that's not an accurate rep. So when you look at all these, like, pretty much your face, you will never, ever see it.
Yeah.
Until that person... this is a fucking weird thought, but I've thought of this. So on that line of thought, like, you'll never see your face.
Mm-hmm.
Who's going to be maybe this has already been done. Who's going to be the person that gets their eyeballs surgically removed and spun to look at them?
Well, then even then you don't see yourself because you don't know what your eyes naturally rest like.
Oh, yeah, true.
So, like, you could.
Yeah, you could. You'll be the first person to see your own head.
Yeah.
You can't see anything. You can see your nose. That's it. Maybe your lips.
Yeah.
And that's all we got. Is your head even there?
Well, that's the thing is, like...
is it just your eyes and a nose and your lips floating in space?
Like Shrek and Fiona, you know, he was an ogre and she was a princess, and they ended up falling in love, and she turned into the ogre or whatever that story is. But it's just like, you know, you have these... they say, like, the comedians win the woman over, you know, at least from the male perspective. So, like, they could be some... very unattractive dude, but he's funny, so he gets, you know, some beautiful girls, or he ends up, let's say, marrying a beautiful girl, and it's all because he's funny. You know, will he ever see himself as someone that's attractive the same way that his wife does, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, they found love for different reasons, but, like, at the end of the day, she loves him enough to stay with him, you know? Vice versa. Just something I think, like, there's just a lot of variables in this mirror there. I'm just trying to tear it apart. But.
Yeah. Well, it's very much a trivial thing that has no deeper meaning. It's a fucking stupid mirror.
I know.
It has reflections.
People are gonna, like, stare in their mirrors now and be like, "Wow."
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, if you wanted to see what was around the corner and you took a picture and then looked at the screen, you made a video, looked at the video, and then you took a mirror and reflected it back, and you're seeing the perfect, for the most part, recreation of what's around the corner.
You go, like, full blast into that same hallway, and then you just smack right into the mirror. Where the fuck did this come from?
Yeah, the good old mirrors. All right. You want to go ahead and wrap that one up?
Yeah.
You have anything you want to say?
No.
This might be the last one, folks, for a minute. This will be a living account. So, but as far as this familiar look of the 12 episodes, yeah, it's gonna
change.
Yeah, this will be the last one probably. So
it'll be me too. Oh, Johnny boy will be away.
Yeah. So yeah, thanks for watching for 12 episodes, talking 25 hours of content.
Yeah.
So
about 2 hours, huh? Yeah.
Yeah.
2.5 hours on some.
Yeah. Yeah. So to our loyal, I think we got 25 now. Wow, 25. 25 fans. Our loyal 25 fans.
It's more than we thought it would be.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, thanks for tuning in this 4-ish, 5-ish months.
Yeah. I'm glad to have come for the last episode. Well, not the last, but
yeah, in this
for
setting.
now.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, folks. Bye.
Ugh.